Welcome to Weekend Shelf Control with me, Liam,
And me, Frankie.
and today we are talking about our book haul for February. So these are all the books I picked up this month.
And these are all of mine that can fit because, I had problems this month.
How many have you got there?
One, two, three, four. 16. It's terrible.
Okay, I have 8. So I think that's an impressive amount for February. It's a short month, so to get 16, that's pretty good going. That's basically what, almost more than one every 2 days.
Oh God. Yeah, let's just stop talking about it and just start
And
talking
just
about the
start talking
individual
about
books.
what you picked up. You can take it away since you have twice as many.
Okay. I'm just gonna quickly mention this one, which I mentioned previously because I'm reading it and I really hope to have it finished in February, but it didn't quite work out because I prioritized reading Carrie. So this is How to Kill a Guy in 10 Dates by Shaylee Thompson. And this is a really fun book so far. This is a girl who's really into rom-coms and slasher movies, and she goes on a speed dating or to a speed dating event with her friend, and there's a killer there and they are trying to survive. And she knows the rules of slasher movies, so she's trying to use them to stay alive.
And it has very nice sprayed edges,
Oh
does it not?
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
a
we've got to see
little
those. We've got to see the spread.
disco.
That is
Yeah.
very nice.
And I love the art
Yeah,
designs on this. It's a very pretty cover.
yeah, that does look awesome. Okay, so the first book I picked up is actually based off of, I think, our first episode where you were talking about different projects that you were doing. And it got me curious because I didn't have any of this author on my shelf, I don't believe. So I picked up My Heart is a Chainsaw by Stephen
Nice.
Graham Jones. Yeah, I liked the way you were describing it, which, if I remember rightly, again, very like slasher movie influenced.
Yes. Main
And
character is really into slasher movies.
fantastic. I went to my local bookshop that does a book club once a month. And for those that go to the book club, even if you're like me and you haven't read the book that month, you still get 10% off any purchases. And I was like, well, I can't leave the book empty handed with a 10% discount on the table. So I picked this up. And yeah, I don't know when I'll get to it, but because it's part of a series, isn't it? Like he's got sequels
It's
that
a
are
trilogy.
trilogy. So, and this is the first one, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting to that.
I'm just going to pull out a book to keep on theme so we can... Actually, I might do two together.
Okay.
I will just say... Oh God, I have too many books.
Which is a
I
great
actually
problem to
picked up another Stephen Graham Jones book. This is Lead Feather.
have. Okay. Nice. I like that cover.
Yeah, it's very pretty. I picked this up because it's been on my wish list since I discovered Stephen Graham Jones, and it was actually, this is a university press, so maybe that's why. It's
Okay.
always been really expensive, and it's a short book, so I didn't want to pay that much for a paperback. But finally, it reduced to a reasonable price for a paperback, so I purchased it. So yes, this is one I'm not sure when I'll get to it, but just I had to take the moment to pick it up while it was reduced in price. And then the book I was going to talk about, speaking of projects to come based on discussions and all of that, I picked up Elantris.
Nice.
So I want to read this soon because I'm just very curious if I want to keep reading. I haven't read any Sanderson yet, so I don't know if I will get on with him, but chances are good, I think, based on how much everyone loves his books. So yes, that is
So
on my
I
shelf.
will say, and I might have mentioned this to you last time, I can't remember, but a lot of people don't rate Elantris, especially as an introduction to Sanderson's work. Even Sanderson himself would recommend starting with like the Mistborn trilogy or something. However, I started with Elantris, and for a long time it was my favorite book of his. So I think it's a
Yeah.
great place to start, but that's not the opinion of the majority.
Well, I think if I'm not completely sure after reading that, I will read the first Mistborn book
Yeah.
before I decide to quit
Yeah.
if I need to do that.
Yeah.
But
I think that's a
hopefully
good
I will
approach.
love Elantris and I'll just be excited to read Mistborn.
I hope so. Okay, I managed to find a couple like so I spoke about before about one of my projects being point horror books, and I'm trying to collect them. This is a point horror unleashed called Moon Children, by Andrew Matthews. These aren't easy to find. I've got maybe 10 or 15 more point horror unleashed or mutant point horror books to go. I think I've collected all of the main point horror books now. I saw there was 4 of these on eBay. 2 of them I already had. I'll resell them. I don't care. There were 2 that I didn't have. This is one of them. But here's a question that I have for you. When you buy books secondhand, especially books like this, how bothered are you by the condition of the book?
If it's still pretty normal, as in if it's got a ripped off cover or partially, I don't care. A lot of them will be a bit yellowed or whatever. I don't mind. I kind of like the personality of a secondhand book, so I'm not really into them being pristine as long as they're not falling apart.
So I agree with you to a point in that I would say this is a really good condition book for a secondhand book, very good condition. But the thing that I don't love is in the cover you've got this like scholastic file copy with a date that's just printed on there, and it's a pet peeve of mine is also people that write their names on the inside of a cover in pen. So and that's the only like the rest of the condition of this is fine, but I will say that bothers me enough that I haven't deleted my eBay search that I have saved for this
Wow.
book.
Okay. Yeah,
So
I don't really care about people writing stuff inside the cover or on the front
no,
thing.
it's my book. It's not Scholastic file copy dates book.
I have childhood books where I wrote in them myself, and so that's pretty
I
fun
used to do that as a
because
child, but
to
I
see
lost
what
them all.
my writing was like when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So if I ever got rid of them, like, well, actually, I probably have got rid of some over time that might be in some other people's collections now.
Yeah.
I'll just get this one out of the way. Salem's Lot. This is the second 50th anniversary edition, but I'm not like I liked the Carrie one. I'm not so sure I like this one. Partially because it's so big, because they made the font big like they did in Carrie, but this is a longer book, so it makes it chunky.
Yeah.
But also, it's very stiff. It's really hard to hold open. It feels like it's like the first time I opened it, it made a big cracking sound, and I don't know if you can hear.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the edges.
Sounds like the glue or something.
Yeah, so this part's okay, but yeah, I just don't know how good it's going to be, and if it's going to keep making noises as I hold it. So I'm not especially impressed with this one, and I am tempted to go buy a paperback instead. So
I will say what's the page thickness, like the page thickness of that?
pretty standard. It's quite thick. I think it's the font size that helps make it quite.
So I would say
long
the
book.
paperback version that I've got has those like really thin, like Bible style pages. So just be wary.
I did have a different copy. Like I've read this before, and I had a copy, and I think I don't have it now, and so I think that might be the one that I bought at a book fest, and the cover was barely hanging on. or maybe it didn't have
Right.
a cover, or it had come off or something. And so I think I might have just read the book and then got rid of it because of that. So, and that book I don't remember being super chunky. So,
Yeah.
but that might have just been the style of, an old mass market paperback. So,
Yeah.
we'll see. But this, yeah, I mean, it looks pretty.
It
Has
does,
a new introduction by Joe Hill, so I'll be interested to read that. But yeah,
So, do you know, are they planning to continue with these 50th anniversary releases?
I have no idea, but I did
What's the next
see Night Shift,
Okay.
I think. But I did see in the same style they had, I think it was his On Writing book, which has its
Right.
30th anniversary. And so
Okay.
they had done one for that. So I don't know if they're just picking
Yeah.
milestone anniversaries to release everything. So, but that's the only other one I have seen with those covers, but I haven't gone researching.
Yeah. Okay. So part of that eBay lot, I did also manage to get The Cunning Man by Celia Reese. This is a really interesting cover. I feel like I have no idea
I
what it's
really
about.
like it. It's so strange.
It's so strange, but again, we've got that nonsense that I don't love. So another one where I still have the eBay search result. I don't hate it enough that I'm booting it off of my shelf. If I can't find a replacement, I will stick with this. I'm just not thrilled by it. The other thing I will say is last month I read one of the Point Horror sort of 13 short story collections, and all those authors seem to be British, which was interesting because I always associate Point Horror with very like American style, like coming of age, high school drama stuff. Um, and those authors also seem to be the ones that typically write for the Point Horror Unleashed. So, and I didn't like most of those short stories.
Oh,
So, I'm
Well,
trying to not let that put me off. But
yeah. Hopefully they'll be
yeah,
better when they have more space to tell the stories.
I'm hoping so. But part of the appeal of Point Horror for me is that Americana of it all, especially that 90s nostalgia America thing. So if we get rid of that and we set it in England, I don't know if I'm going to have the same love for it.
Fingers crossed. We'll see.
Yeah.
Speaking of strange but wonderful covers, I picked up this David Gemmell
Yeah.
Sword in the Storm, book one of the Regante. I haven't read any of these before, but I have heard good things. It sounds interesting because the Regante dwell deep in the green mountain lands, worshipping the gods of air and water and the spirits of the earth. So, that kind of thing intrigues me. Yeah, and then they have to fight. And so this guy gets this special sword and has to, then he gets the name Demon Blade, which makes everyone fear him, even his, friends and foe alike. So yeah, it sounds really interesting. So I thought
Yeah.
I would give it a go. And
I've
yes,
heard
I
of
do
the
love this
author.
cover.
Yeah, I've heard of the author, but I haven't heard of that series.
I've seen a couple of people mention it, so I don't know if it's his most well-known,
Okay.
or it's just the one
Yeah.
that people have been talking about lately.
Okay.
But yes, I just looked it up and saw it, and it was cheap, so I grabbed it. Yes.
That's as good a reason as any. Okay, so I picked this one up for a book club that I'm part of. And I picked this up in February, and I also read it in February, which is very unlike me. I tend to let them sit on the shelf for a little bit, but because it was part of a book club, I had to get on with it. It is Our Wives Under the Sea by Julia Armfield. I did get the sprayed edge version, and I do find it's not often that you get paperback sprayed edges. So I kind of
I
like
think
that about
it seems to be a thing that they're starting to do because everyone loves sprayed edges, so they're making them
Yeah,
more available, it seems.
yeah. I will say it is about a couple where one of them has just returned from a deep sea expedition and hasn't quite come back healthy, let's say. Um, and it's about their relationship, and you bounce between the two different. Like each chapter is alternates between the two, and it's two women in that relationship. So it's a sapphic horror, apparently, um, book that I will talk about when I do the books that I read in February. So you can wait until then to hear my thoughts.
Okay. I have a horror book that I just recently heard about, and then I heard someone else talk about it and someone else talk about it. So apparently it's this very well-known series that I had never heard of, which is Blackwater. This is book one, The Flood,
I've heard of this, yeah.
by Michael McDowell. And there's 6 books in total. They're short books, and I had that quandary of there's a bind up you can get of all 6 in one that has a pretty boring cover, or you can get them individually in these very pretty gold looking covers. They all look really pretty. So it's obviously cheaper to buy the bind up, but these are pretty. So also it's expensive to buy the bind up if you're not into the story. So I thought I would buy the first book and see. It's apparently not full on horror, and is sort of a southern gothic family drama with some horror elements from what I gather.
Okay.
So I thought I would give it a go. So hopefully I can get to this soon, but I have a number of high priority books, so I'm not sure when I will get to that one.
I mean, I have seen that around, and it is a pretty cover, but reading the description of what it's about, I was like, this isn't for me. So I've put it back on the shelf. But I do like that all of the covers are very consistent.
Yeah.
Okay, so I saw this Leviathan Wakes, which is part of the Expanse series.
Yeah, that's a pretty version.
It is a pretty version with the sprayed edge.
Is that from a special place, or is that just in the shops?
No, just in the shops. I think it's an anniversary edition, like 30th anniversary edition or something, by James A. Corey. But I have a quandary about this that I was going to discuss with you, because this is a lovely version and it has the sprayed edges, and we like that. And the next 2 books in the series have also had nice releases like this with sprayed edges. But The Expanse is a big series,
10 books.
and they've only released the first 3 so far like this. And I love me some consistency. So, do I gamble and buy the next 2 and hope that they're selling well enough?
I would assume, yeah, it must be a cost thing that they are only doing so many at a time.
Here's the issue: is I believe it is Orbit that are doing these, and I've been stung by Orbit in the past because they started doing nice hardcover versions of Wheel of Time, and I picked up the first one, and they had the first 3 of those out, and those have been out for 2+ years now, with no sign of any of the others coming out, which is why I've ended up going to the leather-bound Wheel of Times that I'm going to collect. Apparently they're doing 1 a year, so it is going to take me like 15 years to collect that whole series and read it. But
well, hopefully that one keeps going.
It's Brandon Sanderson's company, so they've already got it all signed off. Like, they've put in the effort of designing it to the point where, I don't know if you're familiar, but towards the end, Robert Jordan passed away and Brandon Sanderson took it over.
Yeah.
And they've like worked out the cover, so when it gets to that, like the spines, so when it gets to that point, there's enough space for them to add Brandon Sanderson's name. Like, they have really planned the future. But what do I do with this?
Yeah.
Do I get the next 2 and hope, or do I just have Like,
See, the
it would be
other
nice.
question though is you haven't read that yet, have you?
No,
So you might not want to read the whole series. So
but
maybe you should
me.
just put it out of your mind for now until you read the first book, and then if you love the book, then worry about it. And then, there might be an announcement then if there's more coming.
Yeah, well, or that's the other thing is, do I just hold off a little bit longer and wait and see if they announce more coming?
I mean, if
And
they
then,
are just general fancy releases, I assume they're going to be around for a while, so you wouldn't have to worry about missing out on them.
it does seem that way because I saw this in the shop and grabbed it, and then looked online to see if there were more coming, and that's when I saw that the next two, and I was like, oh, hang on a second, I've been stung here before, and so it was the same publisher that stung me before, and that's when I started second guessing, do I commit and hope or hold off and wait and see?
I mean, yeah, I don't know. I remember a Japanese series was being released here, and there was 10 books in the series. This was just, translated and released. But it was dependent on sales, whether they would be able
Right.
to release the whole lot. So I assume it's
Yeah.
that. But then you'd think that the Wheel of Time books would have sold well enough
Yeah,
for that one to keep going, unless it's connected with what Sanderson's doing.
potentially. Yeah,
Stopped. I don't know. It's hard to,
I don't know.
publishers these days, some of them are more finance than
Yeah,
books. So, yeah, it's hard to know if they
yeah.
care about having a full series complete.
Yeah, I'm wary when it comes to Orbit at the moment, so that's why I'm just like, I was excited, and I did my research, and it lessened the excitement a little bit.
But that's a very pretty
we'll see.
book. That tempts me to
Mm.
look around and see, because, yes, hardbacks, you never know how much they're going to cost for me to get here.
Yeah,
But
that's true.
I might research. I'm just going to change these around. Okay. I'm going to do a couple of books together because they're kind of related. Because it was on sale, which is a bit of a theme, I purchased The End of the World as We Know It.
I'm really excited to grab this, but I'm waiting for the paperback because majority of my Stephen King books are paperback, and I know this isn't Stephen King, it's like Stephen King adjacent, but
Yeah.
I still want it to be paperback.
So this is stories by a whole bunch of people set in the world of The Stand. And being that's my favorite King book, I'm obviously very curious. And there's a bunch of people I know here, but there's also more people that I don't know. So
There's
it's a nice
some
sampler.
interesting names there. I think you should run through the names because there's some that you maybe aren't familiar with that I might be.
There's a lot of names.
That's all right.
Did I
We've
read
got
them
time.
all out? I don't know how to pronounce some of these. Can I just hold them up and then...
I can't read them. It's not.
It's not
the
gonna
quality isn't
focus.
coming through. Yeah.
There's too many names. Yeah. Look it up.
Who's the
if you
first
need to.
one?
Wayne Brady and Maurice Broadus.
Fascinating, right? That they've got Wayne Brady writing a story in this.
Yeah,
Are you familiar
I know.
with Wayne Brady?
Yes, from
Like-
whose line is it anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because when I saw that come out, I was like, "Is that the same Wayne Brady?" And I googled it and was, yeah, it is.
It is?
I was like, okay, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he was a writer.
No.
Interesting.
I mean, I'm saying this with a lot of confidence. I'm sure that's what the Googling said, but equally, it probably happened at like 2 a.m. when I was in bed and couldn't sleep one night. But I'm pretty sure it is the Whose Line Is It Anyway guy.
Interesting. Poppy Z. Bright is a name I know.
Trans author who wrote Exquisite Corpse.
Yes.
I did not like Exquisite Corpse, but
I haven't read it since I was a teenager and getting into
Yeah.
all the dark stuff. I read a bunch of Poppy's books, or like 3 or 4. I did. Ronald Malfi, who I still haven't read, but
I have a couple of his books on
has
my shelf.
a good horror reputation.
And it's supposed to be quite similar to Stephen King, so it'd be interesting seeing him writing within a Stephen King world.
Chuck Wendig, who I have a book on my shelf but haven't read yet. Alma Katsu.
I'm not familiar with that one.
I have one of her books on my shelf. Yeah, there's a bunch of people. Most of them are not known to me. This book is really heavy, so I bought the hardback because it was on special, but
Yeah.
it's very heavy, so I don't know how easy it's going to be to read. And then
Does it have one by, and I might just be making this up, so feel free to cut this if it is, but is Rath James White one of them?
No. Oh, yes. Second
Yeah?
last name on the list. Yes.
So he is typically like a splatterpunk author. So I'm reading one of his books now. I might have spoken to you about this before, The Bug Collector.
Yes.
So yeah, that was a name when I saw he was involved in that. I was like, oh, that's really interesting, because is he gonna adjust his writing style for a more mainstream audience, or are we gonna get a splatterpunk extreme horror style book set in the Stand world?
I am very curious to see King characters in other people's hands. I think that'll be really interesting. And then because I could get a deal if I bought another book, I thought, why not save a bit of money? And so I did buy Misery as well, because
Nice.
as part of our Stephen King project, this is one of the earlier books coming up that I don't have a copy of already. So, and I haven't read this before. I've seen the movie, which is
I
very
haven't read
good.
it yet. It's my next one is the second Dark Tower book, and then the one after that I think is Misery.
Yeah, I think this was the first one that of all the ones that were included in this deal, so it was a bit limited. Yeah, and I am very curious to read this because I liked the movie so much. So yes, more King for my shelves and King related.
Perfect. So I picked up a hardback a few months ago, based off of one of my friends, Ellie, recommended it, or maybe not recommended it, was talking about it back before I got back into reading. And I think it was called something like We Are Legion, and it's part of something called the Bobiverse. And I picked it up because it had nice sprayed edges. But I was like, oh, I really hope they do more of them because it's part of a series. And then I went into the shop and saw that the second one has now been released, with the third one due out in April, I believe. So that really excites me that they're continuing with doing them, because they have sprayed edges. And what I like about this is the last one, it was just Bob, but like all the way down straight. They've kind of like, I like that they're doing something a bit different. They're not just copying it, so there is like an individuality between the books. By Dennis E. Taylor. I know nothing about it beyond it's kind of sci-fi. I think it's maybe a bit of comedy. I mean, there is a pull quote on the back from Matt Dinnerman, who wrote Dungeon Crawler Carl. So I do want to get around to these sooner rather than later, but I have a lot of books that I want to get around to sooner rather than later.
I know, it's so tricky.
Yeah, and especially when it's the start of a series, it's like, oh, do I really want to start another series when I have other series that I need to finish still?
Yeah, I know that feeling completely. Okay, this is a quick one. Just had to pick it up.
Nice.
I mentioned previously I'm collecting all these Complete Peanuts volumes, and they're a bit pricey, but they regularly get reduced to around $30. And so whenever I see them for that amount, I grab them if they're the next few. And I think I have 3 of them on my shelf, and this fits in between. And so I don't like to have a gap. I like to read them in order, even though it's comics, doesn't matter. So when I saw this one, I had to grab it, even though I had already bought too many books for February. And these books are really pretty. They all have a different That's character theme and different designs on them, and then just really pretty stuff. So yes, that's just a
very
quick
nice
sale purchase.
So this is just coincidental, but speaking of Matt Dinnerman, author of the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, I grabbed his new book, Operation Bounce House, which I don't know if it's going to be the start of a new series or if it's a standalone. I know it's not related to Dungeon Crawler Carl, but again, we've got
It's so pretty.
sprayed edges, so I had to. I do just like the cover as well as it is. I don't really know a lot about it. I think it is a similar tone to Dungeon Crawler Carl, and I think it is sci-fi still. But
Is that one of those fake stickers on the front? Or is it an
no,
actual
this
sticker?
this this is a sticker that I can peel off. But for some reason, I don't know why. I don't mind when it's like
What
it's
does it
a
say?
exclusive edition, just
Oh, okay.
Waterstones. It is. I don't
All right.
mind that so
Yeah,
much,
that's okay. I
but
couldn't read what it was, but
yeah,
yeah.
but it is a sticker that will peel off as well. Which is this is the irony, right? If it was a sticker that wouldn't peel off, it would annoy me. The fact that it can, I'm okay with keeping it on there. I I know that doesn't make
Well,
sense.
usually the stickers are things that are just a bit annoying. Like if there's a TV
Yeah,
show made,
yeah,
sometimes they'll be about awards won, which I guess is nice, but not necessary for a
yeah,
printed sticker version because you can just write that inside the book.
yeah. If
And
it says,
I don't know, awards don't sway
yeah,
me into buying books over,
no,
I'm not going to
no,
suddenly want a book because it's won an award over a book that
yeah.
hasn't.
If it's a sticker that says it's like an exclusive edition from a certain shop or whatever it might be, or if it's a sticker that says it's a signed edition, I'm okay with keeping them, providing they can still peel off. I would still want to keep them on there. Any other stickers can get in the bin.
Yeah. Okay, I did pick up a random horror book from
Okay, I
a
like
new
that
to me
cover.
author. The cover
Mm.
was what drew me to it.
Yeah.
I also have the hardback because it was on sale. So this is by Thomas Old Hoyvelt, Older Hoyvelt. I don't know
Okay.
the pronunciation, but this sounds really interesting. It's people who live in a cul-de-sac, and they're all very successful, very happy, very healthy. Their kids are all prodigies. Everyone's very polite and very smart, but only for 11 months of the year. And then in the other month, they basically have to sacrifice someone to sort of
Interesting.
keep things going. And then I think
Okay.
this book is set in a year where, like, they usually pick someone with a terminal illness or something to be the sacrifice. But this one year, things don't go to plan in this one month. So, yes, I'm very intrigued. I'm hoping to get to this one very soon. It's been pushed back a little because of other books I have, but
Yeah.
hopefully I can get to this within the next few months.
That sounds really interesting. So you'll have to let me know if it's worth picking up or not. I'm on my last one now.
Oh, okay. I've got two because I have a group.
Yeah. Do you want to do one more?
Okay. Actually, I'll leave that one. I'll do my group one. This is this was it's a series that's been on my radar, but the reason why I picked it up now and picked up the entire series is there's a channel called Mike's Book Reviews, which I know you know.
Yeah, love that dude.
I just discovered this channel in January, and I was watching a video recently, and he was not in his normal setup, and he was sitting somewhere else. So there was a different view of the bookshelves behind him, and I noticed the spines on the shelf of these books, and it had one design across all the books, and I'm like, what is that? That looks really pretty and interesting, but it was too far away for me to make out anything. So what did I do? I went to his channel and started scrolling through his videos until I saw one of them in a thumbnail, and so I found out what the series was.
That was some
And
good detective work.
yeah, I'm glad that he talked about one. I think I had to go back a bit far, but you know, at least he had it in the thumbnail so I could see. So these are the books. Oh, I'm gonna drop one. I'm gonna try hold them because it's like one scene. So this is Ken Follett, and it's the Kingsbridge books, which starts with Pillars of the Earth. There's a different book at the end because there's a prequel, but it was published
afterwards.
But yes, I do like that the cover designs are sort of planned for that, for you to put them in order. So this is a series that is related, but all the books are set in different years between 997 and 1792. So I don't know how related they are because there's obviously a lot of time between some of them. So I don't know if it's going to be related families or just related places or what. But yeah, it's been on my radar for years. I didn't know there was this many books, but it's been on my radar for years to read Pillars of the Earth. So, yes. I do want to get to that very soon, but at the same time, Pillars of the Earth is over 1,000 pages, 1,069 or so. And I think the shortest book in this series is about 800 pages.
Okay.
I think the entire series is over 5,000 pages, so
that's going to keep you busy.
Yes, and so the reason I did this, besides wanting to make sure I got the matching editions, because there are a different edition, which is also the one I think that's available locally to me. There was a bundle to get the first 4, and then I bought the 5th to match. And weirdly, I saw bundles of all 5 books, but the latest book, they had the other version. And I'm like, why would you do that? But I found an individual copy of this version in the latest book. So I had to buy that as well, because obviously it's going to be a long time until I'm ready to read it. So I didn't want them to change their design in the meantime.
Makes sense.
Yes.
There's logic there.
Yeah.
Okay, so the last book that I got this month, we're going back to Brandon Sanderson. It is a Cosmere book called Isles of the Emberdark. Now,
very pretty.
We do have sprayed edges with this one, which are very nice, and we do have another peelable sticker. And I like it, don't get me wrong, I like it. My only reservation, because obviously I have to have one, is all of my other Brandon Sanderson books I've got from America and imported them in because I didn't like the UK covers typically.
Yeah.
Now I haven't looked to see what the US cover is like for this one. I just grabbed this because I do like the sprayed edge. So I need to do a little bit of research to see, is the American cover consistent with his other covers that I've got, and do I like it, or will the sprayed edge win out? But it does irk me a little bit that it's going to be like all US editions and then this like little British guy sat at the end. I don't know how I feel about that yet, but that's just me being finicky, let's say.
Okay. My final book I purchased this month, after I said I definitely wasn't going to buy any more books because I had already bought too many. But then I was online and I've started using TikTok, or I've started watching TikTok.
It's a really good way of finding books to buy.
Yes. Well, this is another one that's been on my radar for a very long time. And I was planning to get to it, and I've heard a lot of people talking about it recently, which put it back in my mind. And I was like, oh yeah, I really should get back to that. But then on TikTok, I saw a video from the Brothers Gwyn, and they were interviewing John Gwyn and this other guy. And I was just watching it, and this other guy was really funny and really interesting. And I'm like, oh, this guy, he's really cool. He's got a sort of seems a little bit eccentric or a little bit out there. He's really cool. Who is he? And then I looked down at the description and saw it was Pierce Brown. So I bought Red Rising. I'm going to finally read this. I think the trilogy was out, or maybe the first 2 books were out or something. I remember this was huge when I first started getting into, online book world. It was one that everyone was talking about. And then I meant to read it and I didn't. And I didn't really know much about this besides it being a revenge story. But then the Brothers Gwyn, again, recently released a video of why you should read the series. And so now I know that there's sort of the original trilogy that's about some rebellion, and then the later books continue on and show different perspectives as well. And they also said apparently there's a Hat of Doom or something that Pierce Brown has where he puts in all the character names and then pulls one out and that character dies.
Interesting.
So apparently he does that so he's not sort of writing towards a particular character dying and it being a bit more sort of real. And I do love that sort of no one's safe thing.
So I had that on my shelf for a while. If you could hold it up for me again. I don't know if you noticed this when looking for it, but they have released like a newer version because it sold so much where that red on it is gold.
I did see that. Yeah, some kind of anniversary edition, which I did consider buying, but then this one was on sale for super cheap. So
I hated the gold because I liked the red version, but trying to find it, I really struggled with for a long time.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yeah, and then I did eventually find it in a shop, brought it, like, I don't know, we're talking maybe July, August last year, and then November, they announced the fancy edition that I got for Christmas, which is a nice, I think it's maybe illustrated hardback.
Yeah.
And I checked and I saw him doing a video saying, don't worry, the sequels are coming in the same style.
See, that's another reason why I bought this one, because it was super cheap, because it was cheaper than buying the Kindle version. And I do think that hardcover special one looks really nice, and I thought if I love the series, I want to have the special one. So I don't want to spend too much money getting this. Also, the paperbacks don't match. So between the first 3 and the rest, so I'm like, it's not a big deal to have different versions, getting the special ones, which hopefully they look nice together. So but I just because the Kindle one is expensive because it's such a popular book and it's cheaper to get the physical one, I thought I'll just buy this, and then if I get the special one, I'll either pass this on or this can be my reading copy if the special one seems too special to
mean, that's my thinking is I want to find out when they're planning to release the next one, but I want to try and read it kind of as they're releasing them. I don't know. No, that's too long to wait. I'd rather just read them and then just pick up the nice versions and maybe reread, because depending how quickly I get through this series. But from what I've heard, it's pretty good. So I might be able to get through a lot of it this year, perhaps. Yeah. So we'll see. I do plan to. That's really high on my priority list now. So hopefully I can get to it next month or this month. I've heard so many good things. I'm really looking forward to getting to it. I'm slowing myself down deliberately because I've got enough other stuff to be reading.
Yes. Okay, that's it. That's all my February books. March, I expect to be much smaller because I have really overdone it this month, and I don't like that I have bought so many books. But I have a couple of March pre-orders, but they're at the end of the month, so I don't expect to receive them until April. So fingers crossed I won't have many books coming in March. I don't think I could buy no books
Yeah.
because I don't often do that. So it's unlikely, but I hope to just have very few. So
Yeah.
I'm reading more than is coming in.
Well, I was doing really well in February. If you remember, I think at one point
Yes.
I only had like four maybe that was on the shelf that was new, and then that book club happened. I think last Friday, and that added an additional three, three or four. And then some like stuff arrived that like the Operation Bounce House was a pre-order, so that arrived. And yeah, do we want to give an update on our numbers?
Oh God. Yes. Okay. Mine is terrible because I read.
You added 16 books.
Well, yes, but also I added. I read 4 books in February,
Okay.
but only one of them was from my shelves.
Mm-hmm.
The rest were ebooks or Kindle Unlimited or whatever. So that's not good for my shelf numbers. So at the end of January, I was at 543. So basically, I added. Oh wait, hang on. I just realised I can take off Salem's Lot because it's a book I've already read, so it doesn't count
Okay. Yeah, that
towards
helps.
the books on my shelves. I think.
Yeah.
Yes, that's the only one. So I'm now at 557, which is 19 books more than I started the year with. So it's very bad
Wow.
start.
I don't remember what I started the year with. I know in January my number was 792. I've obviously added the ones we've just spoke about. I believe I read 6 books in February, which I'm pretty pleased with. It's not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
So my current total of books, physical books that I own to be read, 796.
Yeah, just a small increase. That's not too bad.
It's not bad. It's not great.
No, but it's not as
I'm
bad as mine.
here's where my mind's at the moment. It's going. You've got a 4 leeway to get to 800, right? And 800 feels like a nice round number, but my brain's also like that feels like a silly number. And if you get to 800, you're going to go beyond it. Is the way my logic is working. Whereas if I think of 800 as my max and I try and stay under it, then that's more sensible. I'm going to have a month where everything goes wrong. But currently, my goal is to stay below 800 for March. I'm gonna caveat with that.
That's a good goal. I'm just looking. I actually made a list of the books I hope to read in March. And I've got 4 books, and I don't think I'll complete them all because one is 800 pages and one is Salem's Lot, which is a reread. One will be an ebook. So if I complete the other 2, then that's only 2 off my shelves next month. So that means I need to really try to not buy books next month. So even though the number will still be bad, at least it will be going in the right direction. But
buying books is fun.
yes, I know, but I have so many, and I have so many that the books I really want to read I have to put off because I've got so many high priority books that there's too many. So that's the thing. I don't mind. I do like buying books, but I have plenty of books on my shelves that I'm like, that's okay, I'll get to you eventually. But when I have too many high priority books, then it becomes less fun because then I'm just really sad that there's so many high priority books that I won't be able to get to for a while.
Which is fair, but also it is a lovely problem to have.
Yes. The other problem is I have a bunch of high priority books that are very long, so they're going to take up a lot of time to get through them. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to go with an 800-page book.
We will find out.
Yeah, I might swap it out for something else.
Okay.
But the one of the things I would like to swap it out for is Elantris. So that's still a really long
good
book.
few pages. Yeah,
So-
yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see what happens when I get to. I've also got my book from February that I have to finish before I even start on March books. So I'm hoping to finish that today. I've only got 100 pages left, and it's the weekend.
Okay.
And it's the 1st of March today, so it would be nice to get one book done on the first day.
Yeah.
So we'll see. But I have also started a rewatch of the Gilmore Girls. So
That's going to take some time.
yeah, I didn't think I would completely fall back into it, but I started on Thursday and I've watched 4 or 5 episodes already, which
So,
is a bit faster than I planned.
have you read, or are you planning to read? There's some books that I think the author they've named as like Laurie Gilmore or something, where it's called The Pumpkin Spice Cafe.
I've heard of that book, and I've heard so many people think it's the worst thing ever.
Really?
So I don't know
Because
about it.
I've read a lot of people say it has a real Gilmore Girls vibe to it, and you can get nice sprayed edge editions. Not that I'm trying to, encourage you to buy more books.
Well, see, the other thing is, I just recently bought, and I'm currently reading The Spell Shop, which is
Oh, I've read that.
cozy fantasy, and
Yeah.
that felt like what I needed, and I'm really liking it so far. And I'd noticed it because it has a really pretty cover, and the second book has a really pretty cover as well. And I started reading it during a power cut because my Kindle, I didn't need the light, which also helped to why I didn't finish my other book. And I did look up and see that there's hardcover versions with sprayed edges for the first 2 books.
Is it the one with the single block sprayed edge?
Yeah, I think the first one is green and the second one is purple or something, and it's almost like a kind of pastel-y colour. But because of that, plus how pretty the covers are, makes me want to own physical copies. I got the ebook because it was on sale. But yes, I may be, and the hardbacks are only about $30-something each. So they're not very expensive compared to normal hardback prices.
I will say I picked up The Spell Shop without the sprayed edge, and then I saw the sprayed edge version and picked it up. And when I had the two side by side, I actually ended up keeping the not sprayed edge version because the font that they used for the title looked nicer in the not sprayed edge version than the sprayed edge version. It was a very the sprayed edge one was a very basic, weird, just boring font, and I disliked it so much that I was like, do you know what? I'm gonna get rid of this one and just keep the not sprayed edge version for that single reason.
Well, I'll have to research because I didn't notice the different covers, but also that would put me off buying it because at least when I looked, the non-sprayed edge hardback was more like normal hardback prices, which is way too much for a short book like that. So we'll see. Maybe I just won't buy it for now and just stick with the ebooks, which is probably what I should do because it's so much cheaper.
I mean, I have the second one. Is it The Enchanted Greenhouse or something? I think it's called.
Something like that, yeah.
I have that on my shelf to read. I just haven't been in the mood for cozy fantasy. And when I am in the mood, I've got the next one in the Legends and Latte series to read. So that will take priority. But every now and again, I like to just throw in a cozy fantasy. And I thought The Spell Shop was fine enough to justify picking up the sequel.
Yeah, I'm only about 30% of the way through it because I've been focusing on other books, so I've pretty much just had that on my train ride after I finished Carrie, or when I just didn't, I wanted to carry my Kindle because it was so much smaller.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I haven't had a good time to just really sit down with it, but I do love the coziness.
Yeah.
All right, anyway, this is a book haul video, so we're done. We should finish this before it's ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Which already
When
is
we
a
get
bit.
talking about books, you know, time gets away from us sometimes.
Yes.
But yeah, that was all of the books that we picked up in February. Maybe let us know in the comments below. Are there any from our stacks that you've read that you think we should prioritize? Any that you like the look of, that you want us to prioritize, so you can hear our thoughts on them, maybe. And yeah, how are your shelves looking? Are you maintaining that shelf control? Because we're not.